Hello, good afternoon. Lovely afternoon here in County Meath. Um, Sunny for a change. Mind you, it might last, but hope it does. Lasted so far today. I had to go on a bit of a journey to meet somebody in Dublin, not long back. But Farrenheit 451. Do you know anything about it? Hmm? Some of you might. Fahrenheit 451. What was it? I'll tell you what it was. It was a film. Cyril Cusick was in it. He was the head of the thought police. It was made years ago, but it was something like it has come to pass, I think. Um, Everybody was checked. There was monitors or whatever it is in their homes and all the rest, but they could do nothing without the thought police in their particular transport. Sort of out of this world would all come and check what was said that shouldn't be said. Everybody was checked. There was no freedom. The thought police. By the way, is there that sort of surveillance today, I wonder? Hmm? You know, all these cameras or whatever they are, they're in a lot of cities, in a lot of countries, including Ireland. But the thing is that the one that stands out is a totalitarian country, China, communists. And what have they got? They've got this business of everybody being checked. Nobody can say anything practically. They're all monitored. And the Communist Party, which believes in nothing except whatever nonsense they support, it's not belief in God, but we pray for them, of course, that they will have a conversion. Because even though they're weird, they were when they were conceived with the honour and glory of God, they were meant to come into the world. So they've choices to do good or ill. They've chosen the latter, and they have their population, which is quite high, billion or something. But they brought in all sorts of evil. In the beginning, there were millions killed by him, and all the rest of it. So this is the thought police. So now everybody is surveilled. But apparently there's a bit of a downturn in their economy. So the leadership, to try and get the people's minds off what they might know is what they're suffering. Don't forget that we're very strict about the COVID. People were arrested and manhandled and not allowed to come out of their homes. There was riots, never unheard of. So they begin to lose their grip. So now what are they doing? They're trying to get the people off with threatening violence on innocent people in Taiwan that have a democratic system there. Koichek or something like that during the Civil War, the communists won. And the nationalists or the people that had some belief in something else, higher power, shall we say, God, they moved to this Taiwan, which is a big enough country with a couple of 100 million or something in it. So it's not just a little island. But they've been threatened now by this mainland communist. Can they not just run their own country? What does they want to interfere with other countries for? They didn't. They're not posing any threat to them whatsoever. They're supported by the West because they produce great stuff. Chips are something that's very important in computers, I think, and all that kind of thing. And they are, it's a democratic country. There's elections and so on and so forth. I think there's a lady there now in charge. And they always do a great job if they're if they're allowed to get on with it. So Taiwan is a beacon of hope in that neck of the woods. China leaves a lot to be desired. You might say they're pariahs, but they're thought police. Fahrenheit 451 wasn't too far off the mark. Have we a touch of that in the West, I wonder? I think we have. And what is it called? The cancel culture. Where do you think it comes from? The communists. They infiltrated the universities. It's documented. So all those fellas are astray in the head. They're qualified, but the lights are out up here. The university students, instead of having freedom as their number one, they have this cancel culture. So if you don't agree with them, Ed, you're not allowed to open your mouth. You're cancelled. Little example of what it was in England. No, I'm telling a lie. It was here. Mary Kenny, that writes in the Irish Catholic, a journalist, and she's converted. She had a spiritual awakening, shall we say. She was quite different when she was younger, a journalist, and she was part of this so-called liberal. You can put it with a small L because they're the opposite to liberal. They're not a bit liberal. I want to hear titles like that, and what's this? Another one is progress. You hear that, look out when a certain crowd is saying it. They have an agenda. So now there's the cancel culture in the United States and in Britain and in here. The University of Limerick had invited Mary Kenny to take part in a debate. I suppose the pros and cons of the Christian faith or something like that. But the university students or the crowd in Limerick that are pro-abortion or pro-something or another, they're quite evil, in my opinion. They threatened violence. And did the university stand up for free speech and for an invitation? No, she was cancelled. A disgrace. A disgrace to that university. The best thing to go back and call themselves something else. Don't have the cheek to use the word university when a person was invited as a Catholic and a practicing Catholic and believes in good and evil. Was disinvited because of the threats of those that hate the truth. Their truth is false. As false as themselves. They have to be called out. And John Malone calls them out. They should never be tolerated. They're the ones that cause the trouble. They caused trouble to the men's rosary in Limerick there not so long ago and complained. I don't know who to complain to. Was it the radio, television, or what have you? And because of the men said the men's rosary once a month, which is a great thing for men to do. They're doing it every month in many towns and cities. They're doing it in Dublin, in every city. I was at one of them, not in Dublin, in Athlone. Oh, marvellous. And a lot of men was at that, about 50. And others joined us because we had to move to a different venue. It's supposed to be in the Market Square in Athlone. It was over in further along, about half an hour's walk along the road over towards some car park, and there was a great statue and flowers and all of our Blessed Mother. And this is where we're saying the family rosary. Some kneel down. Well, I didn't kneel down because, how would I get up? I'd like to kneel somewhere where I can get a grip of something. When you're kneeling down there, you couldn't. So I was standing up, but I did manage to. I think it was it was a Saturday with the Joyful Mysteries. And I did manage to say in the fourth station, the Assumption of our Blessed Mother into heaven. So I felt I contributed on that occasion, And but I was just talking about Farrenheit 451, that film that was made years ago. I saw it. And the people then, what did they wind up doing? They went into the woods. The same as our ancestors went to mass rocks to say that to get the holy mass, and priests under disguise were able to do all these mass rocks and produce the requirement things out of their bags or whatever they had to be able to do it. They had to be in disguise the whole time. There was a price on their heads. So here they were in Farrenheit 451. This was a sign of freedom. They were in, and they wouldn't have right to read books either. Aye, and they were in the woods, men and women, learning all the poets and the books and all the rest of it. It was a scary type of a one, but it was prophetic. I saw it years ago when I was a much younger man, but I still remember it. And what it said, and I could see that it's been implemented, by goodness. So they knew more than what they knew something. They knew something was afoot in these so-called progressive countries. Quite the reverse. Once you hear that word and the word liberal and all these type of in words and equality, they mean the opposite. They mean the opposite of what those lovely words mean. Not what we think it means, which is good. No, they have an agenda, and it's the cancel culture. Universities, imagine turning out to look at them. What kind of universities are they? What kind of is the crowd down in Limerick that disinvited Mary Kenny? My mother is from Limerick, proud of that city, visited many a time. All the churches and all the rest of it. Beautiful, beautiful city. It did have a bit of a bad time with a criminal element there one time. Motors and different knows what, but they dealt with it, and there was innocent people killed. There was a rugby player killed. Mistaken for somebody else. I put the kibosh on them. They were dealt with. So I'm just mentioning the film. And some of you, if you're long enough in the tooth, or maybe not that long, because I mean it was done years ago, but I'd say you probably can get it on the internet. Farrenheit 451. A lot of it has come to pass, believe it or not. Cancel culture. That's what it is. And then there's surveillance. Can you move anywhere without somebody seeing you? That you don't know who they are? Where are they hiding? What's all the idea? Because criminals can go away scot-free. It doesn't matter if they're seen and all the rest of it. They're not able to prosecute them. You have to have so much evidence now that they might know who's done harm and all the rest of it. But the requirements to try and bring a successful prosecution is nearly stacked against the Gardaí. I think that's maybe why you don't see them on the street. Pity, because we need them on the street. I just digress there. I'll have another little nugget for you maybe later on the same kind of subject, something that you might know anything about. Give you food for thought, and not to worry about it, because prayer, that's your man. They can't interfere with that. Although in Britain they were trying to, when there was one saying silent prayers in their head, because if they weren't arrested because they were near abortion clinics. The police coming, somebody complaining about them, the weirdos that believe in abortion, killing the innocent. Did you ever hear the nuts? And there you are. So just think about that. You ponder, these things. Fahrenheit 451. So odd years ago, by goodness, I think it's coming to pass. It doesn't affect me, thank God, because I still do what I want, what I do, and I don't allow that kind of individual. But I'm just talking about it, and that we just be aware of it and sort of say our prayers that they'll get something, that they'll get some spiritual awakening and wake up. They won't get anywhere carried on that way. You've got to try and do good in life, good and GOOD, not EV, not evil. Good, and learn the difference. They don't seem to know the difference. Well, cheery boy, and I'll be talking to you later. Probably prayer time or this, that, or the other. You wouldn't know what. So John Augustine was Christian. That's on my passport. John Augustine. I took Christian was my confirmation name. So I would be using that, but I think I might start using John Augustine in my future, because that's what my parents christened me. I don't know where they got the Augustine part of it from, but nonetheless, they gave me that, and I'm very fond of it because they're great saints. Okay, cheerio. Bye. Right, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.